Hello, hello again. Um, so we are going to move on to lesson 3, and we are still on chemical change. Okay, we're still on chemical change. So we have another question here, just to solidify your understanding. Okay, so 5.1. 5.1, they are asking for a definition. Define the term molar mass in words. Okay, so molar mass, this is according to definition. It's not difficult. Okay, molar mass is the mass of 1 mole of a substance. The mass of 1 mole of a substance. So this is molar mass. The mass of 1 mole of a substance. So let us read the question together. They say iron 3 oxide reacts with carbon monoxide, CO, as represented in the balanced equation below. Okay. In one such reaction, 1.2 kgs iron 3 oxide reacts with excess carbon monoxide at standard temperature and standard pressure. Okay. Now, we can see already that that the mass here is given in kgs. Okay. So they give us the mass in kgs, and we must convert this thing to, we must convert it into grams. We don't use kgs here. Chemistry, we use grams. Okay. Now, they say calculate the number of moles, okay, of iron oxide. Okay. So, of iron oxide, so iron 3 oxide reacted. Okay. Number of moles. So, we must first find the molar mass for iron 3 oxide. So, we go to the iron 3 oxide. It's going to be, so we should go to the periodic table. So, for oxygen, it's going to be 16 multiplied by 3. We multiply by 3 here, which is going to be 48 plus, and then 2 multiplied. So go look for the ion. We go to 42. The ion is here. It's 56. Okay. Fe. So we have 56 here. So it's going to be 2 multiplied by 56, which is other end. Well, then you add here, get 160. So it's going to be 160 grams per mole. And then we are looking for number of moles. So again, also the mass here, small letter is going to be 1.2 kg be equal to 1.2 multiplied by 1,000, so it gives you grams. So then you have 1,200. Then we can find the number of moles. So we can say N equals to M over M. So it's going to be 1,200 divided by 160. Then we use the calculator there. So it gives 7.5 moles. Okay. And then 5.2.2. 5.2.2, what is happening here? 5.2.2, we are supposed to find number of iron oxide again. So this is the product here. This is not the reactant. This is the product. Okay. Since we have the number of moles for the reactant, we must use the what? We must use the ratio again. Okay. So we're going to use that ratio. So then we say 2, then 4. Okay. And then we write down the product on the right side, which is 4, 3, and 4. Fp3, O4. And then the ratio between the two is how much? The ratio between the two is, so it's 3:2. Okay. So it's 3:2. So we have the number of moles on the left. So we put 7.5 here. And then we don't know the number of moles on the right. So we put X. So in order to find X, we cross multiply. We use cross multiplication here. So it's going to be 2 multiplied by 7.5. Okay. It's going to be 2, and then we multiply by 7.5. Then we divide by 3. So this should give us 5 moles. So this is for the product. Okay. And then once we have the number of moles, then we can use the formula. And over, and then it's going to be there. N equals to N, and then the N is going to be 5, and A is going to be 6.02 multiplied by 10, the power of 23. So then it's going to be 3 point We use a calculator here. Gives me 8.01, then multiplied by 10 to the power of 4. So it's formula units, because they're asking us about formula units. So it's going to be formula units, because they are asking about the molecules. A formula unit is a molecule. So we don't multiply by anything here. We just find the number of moles, and then we multiply by the constant here, A, for Avogadro. So that is it for that question. And then the last here, 5.2.3. 5.2.3 say the volume of carbon monoxide in cubic decimeters of the 5.2 kg with 1.2 kg. So again we can see that what the ratio between the two is raised to 1. So okay, we start with the ratio 5.2 here. So 5.2, you can see that here the ratio between the two carbon monoxide is going to be 3:1. 3:1. So then we know the number of moles here for the reactant of iron. We found it to be 7.5. So this one is below. So then we can find 7 multiplied by 1. So we cross multiply 7 multiplied by 1 over 3. This is going to be 2.5 mole. So this is the number of moles that for carbon monoxide will be formed. So then we can find the volume. We need the constant and the number of moles here to find the volume. So N is going to be equal to E divided by Vn. And then if we change the subject, we cross multiply this, multiply by that. So V will be equal to N multiplied by V. So it's going to be 2.5 multiplied by the exponent, which is 1. It's going to be 2.4. So this is a constant. So then your volume here, the unit will be, so you use a calculator. So it gives me 56 cubic decimeters. So again, as you can see that the ratio here, very important. We get the ratio here from one. We get it from the coefficient. Okay. This comes from the coefficient of a balanced equation. Okay. The coefficients, meaning the numbers in front. Numbers in front. You can see for iron here we have 3. For carbon monoxide, for carbon monoxide it is 1. So 3:1. Okay. If there is nothing, so if there is no number here, it means 1. Otherwise, if there are numbers, you use the numbers that are given, or the numbers that you used when you were balancing the equation. If you're required to balance it. So so yeah, that is it for this question. Okay. I hope you understood. Well, I hope I made things clear. Yeah. I hope I made things clear. And I hope that everything was understood about this question. So it was how many marks? It was 13. Okay. So yes, that is it for this lesson. I'll see you on the next one. Leave your questions in the comments and I will attend to your questions in the comments. Okay. Until next time, take care.